No, it's 6. We'll get started. All right, it is 6 o'clock. I call to order the Wildlife Management Advisory Commission meeting for April 19th. All but 2 commission members are present. And we'll do Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. All right. Citizens' comments period. We don't have anyone signed up for that, so we're going to move on to business items. Looking for approval on the March 15th, 2021 minutes.
So moved.
You gotta put your mic on. Nope, you gotta put your mic on, mister. There you go now. There we go.
So moved.
Okay, I got a motion to approve. I've got a second. All in favor?
Aye.
That motion passes unanimously. Moving on to 5B, discuss wildlife and wildlife incidents within the city of Garden Ridge. Comments, concerns about anything like that?
Was the piglet part of like the hogs or anything, or was it a pig?
I assume it was a
Like
wild hog.
Wild hog.
I don't think anybody'd be like, here, take my sick pig. But, I mean, they could. It could happen, but.
I didn't know if it like escaped and was
I'm
sick.
joking, yeah, I agree. Yeah. Well, technically right, I guess. All right, so any other comments, questions, concerns about that? Okay, B2, April city council meetings. We did not have anything per se that we were taking to city council. I know Mr. Kniper, you're probably there, or Council Member Swint may have input as well on that one, but I'll defer to you two. I was not present.
We had one thank you from City Councilwoman for Commissioner Minor Williams, from Councilwoman Kay Bauer for her dark sky presentation. And Planning and Zoning is going to adopt some of those items in the expansion of 2252 and the commercialization along 2252. They want to keep the skies dark and to benefit the wildlife and use deflective lighting and everything else and shielded lighting. So it was a good presentation and she thanked her for it.
All right. Parks Committee, I know that we had been talking about that. I know that I don't think anybody's attended that one, so we'll skip over that one and go to B3, discussion on dark sky. So we had that the last time. Obviously, y'all were presented with something from Dr. Denise Minor Williams, who's also a commission member on this commission. I guess thoughts, comments, questions, concerns, moving forward steps, action items.
Hasn't the city already adopted the Dark Skies Initiative?
No, we haven't. It will have to be adopted through an ordinance, is our understanding.
Okay.
But I do know that planning and zoning and the rewriting of our new zoning ordinance is leaning in that direction with the future lighting and replacement lighting, things of that nature.
Leave it up to them.
I don't know what, I guess there's some direction that we could potentially give if we wanted to have input. I'm not saying that we're going to drive the ordinance. I don't think that that's the messaging, right? But I think that from an input perspective, if there's something that you all wanted to bring to city council around that dark skies and say, hey, there's portions of this dark sky that make sense, right? Whether that be the lighting or how it's, I don't know the total I don't know the total scope of what they're wanting to look at, right? I guess you could say the Wildlife Commission has come to, want to give input to this new dark sky initiative, right? Or want to have some input in this new ordinance, right? You can follow these 5 steps or these 10 things or whatever it may be if this commission wanted to do something like that. So I just want to leave it up to the floor if y'all want to discuss it on action items or things we want to talk about.
Well, their next meeting is May 11th. So, I mean, one of us could just go provide some comments during their meeting and see if they have any input and then bring that back, I guess. When is election day, though?
May 1st.
Okay. For some reason, I thought it was on the 11th. Okay.
And I think it's, there's a couple things, right? We can have input in, I think, all things, right? I don't think that's a problem. I think looking at, in dark sky in totality, there's kind of, I would call it a tiered system, right? You can go fully dark sky initiative, right? Where it's super limited on the lumens and how much lighting you can have around your house or around your business. Or it can be a little bit like, less that, right? You can meet somebody halfway. If you have, I don't know exactly what all the variation is there, but I think that there's some more restrictive measures you can take and less restrictive measures you can take. But, and I think that's something that we could ideally look at a little further if we wanted to, right? And say, hey, this affects wildlife in these ways. This is what we're recommending from our commission, right? If we want to do, I think the presentation was a good start. And maybe we can go individually back, look at dark skies. It's really just online, right? You just look at it. And then maybe we can come back and say, hey, here's some things that I saw that were good. Here's some pros, here's some cons, here's what I would recommend, and we can, I think, maybe have a little bit more of a formalized discussion around it, if that makes sense.
Yes.
Is that fair for everybody? Just do a little homework, look at dark skies, bring back some pros and cons on maybe what you think should be done and what you think and what you shouldn't think is done, right? I think there's obviously some security risks that people, I'm sure, want to talk about, right? People want to see outside. Some people don't. So I think it'd be good to have a good discussion about that and maybe take some input back to city council. Is that fair? Okay, cool. Any other discussions about dark skies? Okay. Wildlife Management Advisory Commission activities and projects. I don't believe we have any ongoing activities and projects. So we'll move on to 4.2, which is future education training session in Grapevine. I think we're probably late for that, but I don't know if there's anything we need to make anybody aware of either, unless somebody says something to the contrary. No?
Well, that's good. Because it's done.
Could be for next month.
We can do that.
Is there anything anybody wants to bring up?
Yeah, I would think that we're pretty much into another drought, and I think maybe if I'll write something for the Grapevine to talk about the hog problem with people who overwater their lawns, that piggy likes soft ground, and that just to be aware that if you overwater your lawn, you may be sending out an invitation to a hog intrusion.
Okay, I think that's a great idea.
When does that need to be in?
The May Grapevine is already done, so unfortunately it would have to be pushed to the June Grapevine. So therefore you would have until the 18th of May to turn that into me.
Okay.
Or the 18th of June. Oh, May, I'm sorry. I'll be quiet.
What month is it?
And I think,
Moving too fast.
I think we have some really good information in our wildlife plan that would help with drought. And I know that people with the freeze lost a lot of plants and maybe want to replant with some maybe more deer resistant. I'm gonna use that word in kind of quotes. There's nothing really, other than maybe cactus is deer resistant, right? But maybe we can link them to our wildlife plan so that they can get some more information on maybe what to plant as well. I know that people are trying to figure it out after losing, I'm sure, like everyone else here, lost a few plants or thousands of dollars worth of plants to this freeze. So everybody's replanting things, and as that season's upon us, maybe we can add that in there as well, via link. Is that okay?
Another point of contact would be the Canal Master Gardeners. I know they lost a lot of plants in their little place where they keep plants and things like that in Canal County. But they would be a good good POC, point of contact for planting stuff that's both deer, all kinds of wildlife resistant.
Okay. I'll piggyback. I'll just send you the links. I know you probably have the links to that, but I'll send you I'll take the action on the point of contact for Master Gardeners.
Okay, that sounds good. Thank you.
And then I'll send it to you. Anything else y'all want to talk about as far as grapevine goes?
No.
Okay. Number 5, wildlife management plan. Any changes, recommendations that we need to make to that?
None that I can see at this point.
We still don't have any place to trap, correct?
No.
Nothing to add.
All right, ordinance 210, provide, to ordinance 210, I'm not familiar with this particular, is this the normal ordinance that we have on here? It just says we need to show up to regular city council meetings? Okay. So if you have not, are we back on with that? Is that box checked back again that we need to be there, or has that been? I don't know if city council's made a change on that.
The waiver is still in place, so therefore you don't have to attend 2 city council meetings as of right now. But obviously it's recommended that you attend throughout the year.
Okay, so there you have it. You can attend if you want to. It's recommended that you do. Okay. Any other discussion on number 6? No. Okay.
Real quick,
If I go back real quick to the ordinance, if we do go, just because we're curious of something else that's on the agenda, is it considered that we're there as wildlife management, or? Okay, so that could count.
Yes.
Okay.
Even if you're only there to speak during a citizen comment period,
Okay,
it's always best to come up to either myself or Marissa. That way, we have a face-to-face contact of you did come, and we
Okay.
can account your attendance.
okay.
All right. Future agenda items. Anybody want to talk about anything, add to the future agenda items? Going once?
Do we need to add the dark skies discussion?
I think we'll just leave that one on there.
Okay.
Yep. Going once, going twice?
I'm guessing at some point after the election, maybe we'll be getting new info or recurrent info based on new leadership or current leadership. So, I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know that anything would change necessarily, but, yeah, there's always that possibility. They could say the Wildlife Commission doesn't need to be around anymore and bombing up. I don't know. I'm just making stuff up. That's not true. That's not been talked about. But no, I don't foresee that. Okay. Announce the date and time and location of the next meeting, which is May 17th, 2021 at 6 p.m. at City Hall. Citizens comment period. I don't believe we have any citizens comments. No. Okay. And that adjourns our meeting. It is 6:15. Thank you.
Wow.